Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 1994 Baltimore Ravens expansion rebuild series here on Madden 22 in the 1994 mod. That is right. We are back. If you missed the previous couple episodes, there is a link down below in the description for a playlist. If you want to go back and catch up on all the previous episodes, we go season by season, one season per episode. So we do the entirety of it. We simulate the entire year, then we do the whole off season in one video. So if you want to catch up, there's a link in the description for the playlist. So, a recap of last episode. We are getting better. I think we are on the precipice of greatness. This is the 1997-98 NFL season that we're headed into right now in this episode. And if you guys have been paying attention, I have been teasing it, mainly because I forgot what draft class they were actually in, but I have been teasing this draft class for a couple of years now because this is the Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, and Charles Woodson draft class. There's a lot of other people in this class, but those are the three big boys that I can remember off the top of my head. So regardless of what happens in this season, we are coming away with Randy Moss. You can guarantee that. You can put your entire mortgage on that. You can bet the over like crazy on that. Bet the money line on that. We are coming away with Randy Moss. That is an absolute guarantee. I don't care if we win the Super Bowl this year, which we probably won't, but I don't care if we go undefeated, win the Super Bowl, or if we are the worst team in the league, or whatever. A middle-of-the-pack team, we are coming away with Randy Moss. He is my favorite player outside of Tom Brady of all time. We are coming away with Randy Moss. So I don't care. It's happening. But the rest of the team looks really, really good. We've got Steve McNair, who's developing, hopefully. He's now an 80 overall superstar development quarterback. Obviously, in a couple of seasons, Tom Brady will enter the league. So maybe that's where we want to go. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. We've got amazing running backs. We've got really good receivers that we're going to pair alongside Randy Moss. We've got Tony Gonzalez, who we drafted last episode, who's going to be our starting tight end, hopefully our franchise tight end for a while. We also took Orlando Pace to be our franchise left tackle, now that Jim Lachey's not here anymore. Yeah, he's gone now. He retired. And if you guys remember from last episode as well, Bruce Matthews, our starting center, X-Factor center, retired halfway through the year. He didn't even finish out the season. I couldn't believe it. I was flabbergasted. I was appalled. I was shocked. I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think that was possible in Madden, but it happened. So we had to go out and trade for another center. We brought that center back, and he's going to be starting for us this year as well. I'm excited about this team. We got a lot of young pieces. Ray Lewis, Brian Dawkins developing in their second seasons. I'm super, super excited. Obviously, Derek Brooks is still here, so I can't wait to get into this video. I hope you guys go and enjoy. If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go continue to rebuild the 94 Baltimore Ravens. And yes, I know Ravens didn't come back into existence or come into existence until 1996. We discussed this in previous episodes. Go back and watch those for my for my reasoning of why it's the 1994 rebuild. If some of you may have forgotten, at the back half of that draft, we also took Mr. Jake Delhomme, baby. Jake Delhomme is our backup quarterback alongside John Kitna, who we arguably paid a little bit too much and regrettably paid a little bit too much to be our backup quarterback, but hey, it's whatever. This is what the team looks like. We've got Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens in their second seasons. We've got Derek Mason and Ed McCaffrey and Flip Anderson. Flip. As our other wide receivers, obviously we're going to add Randy Moss at the end of the year, or at the end of the video. We've got Terrell Davis and Curtis Martin at running back. We've got a pretty good offensive line. I like Lincoln Kennedy. I obviously like Orlando Pace, so I think the right tackle and left tackle spot, the corners of our offensive line, or the ends of our offensive line are pretty much solidified. We just need to fill out the interior. We've got Tony Gonzalez. We do need to find a backup tight end, but Tony G is good for right now as a starter. The linebacking core is amazing with Ray Lewis, with Zach Thomas, with Derek Brooks, and Larry Izzo is pretty good as well. We've got Reggie White, the Minister of Defense, who we signed in the free agency. I'm super excited about that. He is super old, to be fair. He is very, very old, 35 years old. but he's Reggie White. He's the greatest defensive lineman of all time. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. We also got Jason Taylor, who we drafted in that. This last draft was really, really good for us. Really, really good. We got some amazing players. We got Rondé Barber in that class. We also got Darren Sharp. Put the team on my back, though. Greg Jennings. We got Darren Sharper at strong safety, Brian Dawkins at free safety. We are pretty much solidified on this team. There are some obvious holes that we need to continue to work on. Like I said, the offensive line interior, the defensive line. We need to find some true starters at D-tackle and at defensive line at left end because Reggie White's not going to be here forever. We need to continue to work on the corners and maybe continue to work on left outside linebacker. I don't know if Izzo's going to be the guy for us long term, but he's good for right now. And then obviously we have Adam Vinatieri at kicker. So that is what we are looking like for this season. It is the most important time of every video. We need to load in the new draft class. Import local file. Give me 1998. And it is the best class. It is Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, Charles Woodson. Where's my main man at? There he is, Randall Moss out of Marshall. We're getting him. I don't care. We are getting Randy Moss. I don't care if he's the worst player in the world. We're getting him. At quarterback, I'm going to put the two top guys, Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, on my board. I'll also put Brian Greasy and Matt Hasselbeck on my list, just in case for maybe backup options. At running back, Curtis Enis the penis. Maybe we go for him. Fred Taylor we'll put on the list. Amon Green, Michael Pittman. There's a couple decent guys in this one. I'm not seeing anybody down the board too much, and we don't really need a running back anyway. Wide receivers, we already talked about how we're going to go for Randy Moss. So other than that, I don't really need to put anybody else on my board unless there's a sneaky one like Hines Ward. That could be awesome as well. We'll keep an eye on Hines Ward. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be anybody that I want to put on. There's a couple names in here, but I don't think I want to put anybody else on the board. At tight end, I did talk about how we need another tight end to be a backup to Tony G, but I don't really want anybody. And we have the benefit of hindsight. We know that there's going to be some good tight ends coming up in later classes, so we can keep an eye out for those. Left tackle, we don't need. Left guard, Alan Faneca, however you want to say his name, definitely would be a upgrade to what we have already, especially because he's just younger. So we'll have that in mind. Center, Olin Kreutz. I love him. One of my favorite centers of the 2000s. Absolute stud. Anybody else? Steve McKinney could be interested. We'll put him on the board. That's probably everybody. Jeff Sattery's down there, but I don't know how high of an overall he's going to be. He could be a late, like 6th or 7th round pickup that we just store on our team. We'll keep an eye on him, though. Nobody in the right guard spot, I don't think. And then right tackle spot, nobody else either. So there's a couple offensive linemen that I'd be interested in. On the defensive side, doesn't look like I want anybody here. Right ends, not really. Defensive tackles, we could use another defensive tackle. Michael Myers. I'm not really seeing anybody that piques the old interest. What a name this is. Nate Hobgood Chittick. That's quite the name right there. That's a Hall of Fame level name. Outside linebackers, I mean, I got to put Takeo Spikes on the list. I mean, I'd just be a fool not to. But is there anybody else? Nope, doesn't look like it. Middle linebackers, I mean, we already have a pretty solid middle linebacking core with Zach Thomas and Lennon Fletcher and Ray Lewis, but we could add a couple other guys. Keith Brooking. I do like me some Keith Brooking. Is there anybody else? Nope. What about corners? Obviously, I got to put Charles Woodson on the list. R.W. McQuarters. I didn't know he was in this. Patrick Surtain Sr. Or the first, I guess. Samari Roll. We need corner in a bad way. So this could certainly be the draft that we grab a couple of corners to pair alongside Rondé Barber. Free safety, Bucky Jones. I love Bucky Jones, but we don't need a free safety. I'll still put him on the list. Tony Parrish. Nobody else there. Strong safeties. Don't need a strong safety either. Scott Frost. Look at that. Scott Frost. How funny is that? Oh, Pat Tillman. I'll put Pat Tillman on the list out of respect. All right, then kicker. We don't need a kicker. And punter. We don't need a punter. So there's not even a punter on the list. Is there? All right, I skipped it, I guess. Whatever. Okay, so our board is pretty interesting. We're going to come with Randy Moss. That's a guarantee. But everybody else is pretty much up for grabs. I would like to get a guy like Hines Ward. I would certainly like to get both of these guys. Takeo Spikes would be cool. Brooking would be cool. I could really like to get Charles Woodson. I don't know if that's going to be possible. We have our number one scout is a quarterback scout. I'm going to fire that quarterback scout because we don't need one for right now. Once we get a little bit closer to like the better draft class with a bunch of different quarterbacks, then we will go for one again. But right now, I think I want to focus on probably a corner. Is there a corner 3-star scout? It doesn't look like there is. Well, that's weird. This is back in the early days of this version of the scouting, this updated version of the scouting. So nothing is that great. So out of the 3 stars that we have available, what do we need the most of? Probably offensive line, if I had to say. Let's go left guard center. Franklin Burke will be our national scout for this season. If I remember, we can fire them next year. We'll fire this scout because there was already a left guard scout, so we need to hire a 1-star, hire the wide receiver scout. Sure, why not? And then we need them for the north something, southeast, central, west. Okay, I had to figure out which one wasn't getting used. All right, so we've got our national scout. When it comes time to do that stuff, we'll have that figured out. Okay, game number 1 against the Saints. Are we going to get a big-time W? And I have remembered, I am going to jump in and get some gameplay. I forgot to do that last episode. I apologize. We do start out with a loss. A little bit unfortunate. Oh, that's right. Emmitt Smith left the Cowboys last episode for the Giants. So now he plays for New York. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. If you think about it, it's kind of crazy, but I think we will... You know what? Let's jump in against the Giants. Game number 2. I was talking about getting some play time, getting some gameplay, so let's go get some gameplay. Let's go play against the Giants and get a big old fat W. This is also nice because we get to see an old school MetLife Stadium. Look at this place. I don't even know if this was MetLife Stadium in the 90s. It probably was. But, I mean, look how bright the field is. It's kind of giving me a little bit of a... like straining my eyes because it's so bright. But we got to focus on our boys here. I'm going Terrell Owens. That's a risky ball, but Terrell Owens, oh, he dropped it. He had it at the very, the whole time he basically had it until the very last second. We got Marv, we got Derek Mason, we got Tony Gonzalez. I'm going to hit Marv, middle of the field. Marvin Harrison, huge catch. Big time play from a big time receiver. And then, out of the backfield, we've got ourselves Terrell Davis. He's got space. TD out of the backfield with a huge gain. A huge gain on the play. We'll go quick slants, double slants. Hit Derek Mason, middle of the field. He's got speed, and he's got the first down as well. All right, we're kind of cooking here, low-key. First drive of the game with Steve McNair. I got a few options. I don't really like any of it. I'll check it down to, not check it down, but I'll go to Ed McCaffrey, and that's going to end up being a touchdown. Okay. Christian McCaffrey's father scores the first touchdown of the game. You love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Let's jump in on defense here. See if we can affect things. Ooh, I definitely want to be the Minister of Defense. Reggie White with his X Factor. Ooh, okay, Brooks. Derek Brooks gets to the quarterback. I don't even know what the quarterback is. Who's the quarterback here? It is not Steve McNair. It is Dave Brown is the starting quarterback for the Giants with Emmitt Smith, Joey Galloway, Thomas Lewis, Interesting offensive line. Michael Strahan's here. Not many people that I recognize, but maybe you guys did. Who knows? 3rd and 14. Can we get some pressure on Brown? Reggie White getting double teamed as you would expect. Get to the quarterback. He's got too much time. Knock it down. I can't believe it. He didn't get the first down, but I can't believe he got even close. 4th and 1. Ooh, Ray Lewis looks mean. Ray Lewis looks mean. We're going to skip a few possessions here. 10-7, 17-7. We'll get to the second quarter, the second half here. 24-7 into the second half. We've got the ball. It's 2nd and 4. Let's jump in and get a little bit more action here. Just a little bit more action. I might want to go Terrell Owens here. I'm not really sure. It's not really there, but it's there enough. Terrell Owens! Oh my God, he almost did it again. One of these times he's going to come down with that catch. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I'm going to flip out. Flip. I think Tony's got it. He doesn't have it. He had to play defense on that. He had to play corner. And you know what? I'm going to go for it. 4th and 8. We're up 24-7. I like my odds. We have press coverage. Do the safeties help? The safeties don't help. Terrell Owens has a man beat. Pass interference. Pass interference. He grabbed me. He hooked him. He hooked him. That was a touchdown, and he knew it. It is going to be pass interference. Thomas Randolph hooked Terrell Owens on the play, and we survive. We will snap it, hand it off to Terrell Davis. Get in there, Terrell. Good job. 15-yard line, 101 yards for TD today. That's nice. We'll go with a little fade smash. I think Terrell Owens could be open. T.O. back of the end zone. Another, not back of the end zone, but to the end zone. Couldn't hold on to it. Another good defensive effort by this Giants secondary. Who do we go with here? We go Owens down the middle. That was a bad decision. That was me making a bad decision. I accept it. We do kick the field goal, so it's 27-7 into the 4th quarter now. Ooh, Giants score. Giants couldn't do anything here, and we've got the ball still, so it's 2nd and 12. No, it's 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. 2-minute warning, actually. That's good, so I don't have to waste time there. I think I want to hit Marv, and he's wide open. He cooked. Marv cooked, and they call a timeout. I don't know why they're calling timeouts. It's 27-14, under 2 minutes to go. You pretty much lost the game, if I had to say so. You pretty much lost the game. I'm looking either Tony Gonzalez or I don't even know. I guess Marv. Marv's open. And a good block by Keith Byers. Marvin Harrison's got space. Touchdown, Ravens. Marvin Harrison. What a block by Keith Byers. Oh, my God. Absolutely insane. And Marv getting down and dirty with it. Look at this. Look at that cut block by Keith Byers to open up the path for Marv to score the touchdown. Aaron McNair loves it. He absolutely loves it. Oh, man, I got to go back and see this block one more time. This is the craziest block I've ever seen by an AI player. I mean, McNair finds it, but let's watch Keith Byers here. He cuts him down and opens up the room for Marv to take it to the end zone, and Marv had enough speed to get through the corner and score the touchdown. But what a crazy block by Keith Byers. Absolutely insane. And then Steve McNair holding it down. Good throw. And then he loves to see it. Celebration by the boys. That's 6 points on the board. Let me get a little bit of a thumbie. A possible thumbie for the boys. All right, let's go to the back. Get that nameplate on there. Baltimore Ravens, Steve McNair. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. All right, there we go. The helmet looks kind of weird, though. Okay. You love it. Absolutely love it. We're going to keep jumping. And we are about to score again here. Oh, we're punching this in. Terrell Davis. They don't call him TD for nothing. Snap it. Handoff. TD's in. Touchdown, Ravens. We are pouring it on the Giants, and we're going to get our first win of the season. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Big ups on the Ravens. That was a fun game. I told you we'd get some gameplay. I didn't lie to you this time. I didn't lie to you. We get some big-time gameplay, and we get a big-time W for the boys. A lot of fun plays in that one. Just wait till we get Randy Moss next episode. That's going to be even better. It's going to be even more fun. All right. Let's keep simulating now. We got to see how the rest of the season pans out. Big upgrades from a lot of young players. That is nice to see. All right, let's keep simulating, see if we can get some more W's. Ooh, mock draft number 1 is out. I also need to check how many draft picks we have. I don't remember. I think we have 2, right? Didn't we trade back? Let's take a quick little peek skis and see how many draft picks we possess this year in the first round. We have 2 first-round picks. That's right, it's from Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's bad. Or at least they're perceived to be bad. So we have 2 1s, a 2, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. So we don't have a third, but we have a lot of picks regardless. If we are better than we are projected to be, we might trade our pick away, get another pick for next season, and just continue this process over and over again. We play the Chiefs, who I think still have Joe Montana. I'm not sure. We do lose to them anyway. So maybe we're not going to be as good as we could be. And it's still early. Week 4. Still very, very early. See if we can beat the Cowboys. Y'all still them boys? They are. They are still them boys. Even without Emmitt Smith, they are still them boys. Mason gets an upgrade point. How many games did we win last year? Was it 5, 6, 7? I don't remember how many games we won last year. I think it was 5. But I'm not 100% sure. Could be more than that, could be less than that. I know that we haven't made the playoffs just yet. And we lose another game. Why are we losing all these games, boys? We've got a good team. We've got enough good players by now to have some games won. The only game we won is the game that we jumped into. We got Keith Byers and Mark Schlereth up for negotiations. Anybody of note? Actually, no. Not this year. That's really nice. We can save a lot of money on these contracts. I don't know what I want to do with Schlereth and Byers. They both could retire. That's a very real possibility. They could both retire at the end of the year. That's how we lost Lachey. And we beat the Browns. Hey, look at that. 2-4. Another W. Gonzalez goes up to a 78 overall. Rondé Barber goes up. Week 7 against the Texans, who are also not a real team just yet, so they're pretty bad. Mock draft number 2 is out as we head into week number 8. And we beat the Texans, so we are 3-4. That's more like it. That's more like it. We'll have to take a look at how the Jags are doing at the halfway point. Orlando Pace goes up in overall. Terrell Owens goes up. We've got National Focus that we can do, which we're going to do on offensive line. So the National Focus is going to probably be... I need to make sure that we know exactly what we're doing here. So it's probably going to be center, just so we can know. Although we already have 75 to 80% on those guys. It's probably going to be center, though. Center's one of the most important things we need, so that is... oh, did I not... Hold on, did I screw that something up? Region breakdown. National, here we go. Wait, did I mess it up? Can I not scout? Oh, it picked left tackle. I guess I had to do it right... The old Madden... I hate you. The old Madden scouting, or the first installment of the new Madden scout, I should say. It just... it messed me up there. That's okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter. More negotiations have opened up. I don't really know where we're going to go here. I mean, Artie Smith is a 72 overall at 27. I don't think we need any of these guys back, really. I mean, maybe I'll offer Schlereth and Byers. And then if they retire, they retire. But I'll offer these guys contracts and we'll see what they say. He's excited to come back. So it's not that expensive. And then Keith Byers will give a 2-year deal to. Not super expensive either. $4 million over 2 seasons. He's coming back. Perfect. So that really doesn't do anything to our budget at all. We still have $70+ million, so we're looking pretty comfortable. Mock draft number 2 has us at number 3 because that's the Jaguars pick. So the Jags are doing their job. They are getting us in position to get Randy Moss and Charles Woodson and all these guys. So we've got Moss at 14 right now. I don't like looking at these early mock. I like looking at mock draft number 5 because that's pretty much set in stone where everybody's going. Now it's not guaranteed, obviously, but it's pretty much set in stone where everybody's gonna go. And we beat the Bengals too. Whoa, are we having a chance at some victories here? Do we have a chance at a playoff berth? We lose to the Chargers, so maybe not. We gotta hope that. The Jags are still sucking, which is a good possibility. That's why I made that trade with them, because I knew that they would have a good chance of losing. And we beat the Browns. We are 5-5, ladies and gentlemen. We are actually pretty good, which is weird. I mean, I knew that we were going to be decent, but we are actually playing pretty good this year. So our focus players here, we're going to use one on Randy Moss. I kind of want to use one on Peyton Manning to find out how good he is, but I feel like that's a waste. I'm going to use one on Hines Ward, and I'm going to use one on probably Takeo Spikes. Yeah, let's do that. Randy Moss, Hines Ward, Takeo Spikes. I didn't have to use one on Randy Moss, but I wanna see with my own eyes how good he is. So we play Denver here. Let's hopefully get a W here against Denver. They're not like super great. And we don't. 17-14, big loss. I am going to jump in for this game. This will be the other gameplay that we jump into. 5-6 versus 5-6 on the road in Las Vegas. Even though these are the LA Raiders before they go back to Oakland, before they go back to Vegas, or before they go to Vegas. So it's a whole thing. But we're going to jump in and play the Raiders. The Raiders. And then we'll see if we can get another W. I mean, we jumped in and beat the Giants. Why can't we jump in and beat the Raiders? Here we are against the LA Raiders. Unfortunately, they couldn't, if we got back to Oakland with the Raiders, the modders couldn't code in the Oakland ballpark, the Oakland Coliseum. That would have been pretty awesome if they would have put that in as the stadium for the Raiders when they moved to Oakland, but we're in Allegiant Stadium, so it kind of takes a little bit of the immersion out, but hey, it's gameplay. Everybody loves some good gameplay. And last time we jumped in against the Giants, I was on point. Let's see if I can do that again. I'm waiting. I find Tony Gonzalez. What a catch. That wasn't even the user playmaker that I made. But it worked out nonetheless. I'm going to go Tony G again. And he dropped it. Oh my God, Gonzalez. That was so close. That was so close for you to bring that in. I got to go verticals here. I absolutely have to go verticals. And then check down, because that's what a sane person does. We check down to Terrell Davis, then we go circle. Oh, I think Derek Mason's cooked. Oh, maybe I was cooked. That was not the right decision. That was not the right decision. You know what? We're going for it. 4th and 7 on our side of the 50, or on their side of the 50. We're going to go for this. Not the right idea, I don't think. But it's going to have to be. McNair sends it. Oh my God, Green. He almost came down with that. What an insane play. 10-7. Okay, we need to stop messing around here and actually get some points on the board. And there we do. 7-10. Red zone opportunity from the 18-yard line for a chance to take the lead back. We're going to hand this ball to Terrell Davis. Cut it back inside. He breaks a tackle, gets the first down. Good job. We'll give it right back to him. Feed the hot hand. Feed the hot hand. Terrell Davis keeps shedding tackles. He falls forward to the 2. And we'll give it back to him one more time. Terrell Davis, TD. Oh my God, I thought he was in. It was a bunch of different things happening, but it's just because the 2-minute warning and all kinds of stuff happened there. That's unfortunate. And you know what? From the 1-yard line, let's give it to the veteran, Keith Byers. The snap, the handoff. Byers is not in, and a timeout called by the Raiders. It's got to be 4th down, right? It is. It's 4th and short. They want us to go for it, and I agree. 4th and goal from the 1. We've got to punch this in with Terrell Davis. He's got the ball, and he's in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Another big-time score. Now we need the defense to show up, and they didn't do it. A touchdown by the Raiders. And I think a field goal before the half is over. That's not good. But we put a touchdown on the board. That's huge. Can we put another one up? We put a field goal up, okay. But we got the ball back again. The Raiders are choking down the stretch at 31-20. It is 31-20, 2nd and 10. And we've got a chance to shut the door on the LA Raiders. Feels weird saying that, even though they're in LA now. Or they're in Vegas. Same deal. The throw, the catch, the drop. Hostetler is the quarterback for the LA Raiders. And he had one there, but to no avail. They've obviously got Brown out there as the X-Factor receiver. To the end zone, Jackson almost picked it off. Almost picked it off, and it'll be a field goal attempt by the Raiders. The Raiders. With 3 minutes to go, it's up, and it's good. The Raiders get the field goal to draw back even closer, but I think our team is good enough to hold on. I hope, at least. All the timeouts are gone. Big field goal. I don't want to kick the field goal. We didn't have to kick the field goal. We win the game. Another game. We're 2 for 2 jumping in. That's awesome. 31-23. Big victory over the Raiders. Now we're going to simulate the rest of the year and find out how good we can do in the rest of the simulation. I mean, we've got 6 wins now, so we're looking pretty tasty. We are looking like a snack. We are battling with the Steelers for the division, and I think Cincinnati as well. Were they all? Yeah. So the Steelers are 7-4. We're 7-5, and we're 6-6. The Browns are 7-5. So we are battling with 2 other teams for the division. Now we don't really have a chance at the division, I wouldn't think, but crazier things can happen. That's for sure. We're taking on Philadelphia. They're 6-6. They're not that good. And we get a W, big W as well, 45-27. We are right in the thick of things as we head down the stretch. If we take a look at the schedule, or the standings, the Jaguars are 4-9. It was a big brain, galaxy brain type of move to trade with the Jaguars, and it's paying off. We take on 7-6 Washington. We lose 31-7. Okay, so now we play the Steelers. The Steelers are really, really good this year. Well, they're good enough to beat us. But we beat them. What a huge victory. We're 8-7. This is a competitive AFC North this year. A very competitive division. Taking on the Bengals. We need to win this game. The Bengals are bad. They're 6-9. This needs to be a victory. It's a loss. Oh, we can't lose to the Bengals there. Taking on the 10-6 Dolphins. It would be kind of annoying if we won this game, and we don't. Okay, so we miss out on the playoffs for another year. That's okay. We showed real good progression right there. Winning those games is really, really good. That's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. We don't get the playoffs, but it's okay because we're still building. This is still in the rebuild part. We got a lot of time. We're in the 90s still. We got a lot of time to rebuild this team. So I'm liking where we're at. It's going to be Giants and Chargers in the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at the stats before we simulate the Super Bowl. So Steve McNair had 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 10 picks. At this point, we've given Steve McNair a lot of weapons. He's got Tony Gonzalez, he's got Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, he's got TD and Curtis Martin. And he's got a solid enough offensive line in front of him. I don't know what we're going to do with Steve McNair. We're going to figure it out. For right now, he's just kind of Rushing, I mean, look at these numbers from Terrell Davis. 1,500 yards, 19 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? No 1,000-yard receiver, but Tony Gonzalez in his rookie year had 850 yards and 5 touchdowns. Terrell Owens, 825 and 5. Marvin Harrison, 793 and 7. Love to see it. Wish they would have got 1,000 yards, but that's okay. Ray Lewis killed it with the tackles with 122. Darren Sharper had 105. Darren Sharp. Calvin Jackson, 101. Zach Thomas, 95. Barber, 87. Dawkins, 72. Kimo von Olahoffen had 16 tackles for loss. The Minister of Defense, Reggie White, 13. Ray Lewis had 8. Thomas had 8. So did Brooks. Jason Taylor had 6. Sack leader was Reggie White with 7.5. So it's nice to see the veteran leading the team in sacks. Derek Brooks had 6. So did Jason Taylor. That's going to be huge for his progression. That's a solid enough rookie season. 3.5 for Izzo. 2 for Ray Lewis. Vinatieri went 14 for 18. Yikes, Adam. You didn't get any blocked. You just missed 4 field goals? That's a big old yikes. So those are the stats. Chargers, Giants in the Super Bowl. Who's going to come away with the championship this year? It is the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers of all teams. Natrone Means. I never heard that name before in my life, but he is the Super Bowl MVP. Congratulations. Emmitt Smith wins another MVP of the league. That is every single MVP we have had. We have done 4 years. And Emmitt Smith has won the MVP every single season. He also won Offensive Player of the Year. Junior Seau wins Defensive Player of the Year. Robert Tate, wide receiver for the Texans, wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Twan Russell, middle linebacker for the Bears, wins the Defensive Rookie of the Year. So those are all your awards and stats. It's time to get into the meat and potatoes of every one of these videos, which is the off-season. We already re-signed Keith Byers and Mark Schlereth. I don't think there was anybody else that I wanted to bring back, so we can focus all on the free agency and the draft. Yeah, Artie Smith, I'm just not going to bring back. He's not a high enough overall at being 28 to really warrant bringing him back. So we're going to let him walk along with the other 2 guys. We'll take a look at retirements. I don't know if there's going to be anybody big in here. Kevin Green, I was wrong. Kevin Green, Gary Anderson, Jerry Rice. We lose a couple people. The refrigerator retires. William Perry gone. Lomas Brown retires. Gary Zimmerman retires. Okay, so it's a good thing we took a look because there are some huge names in here that have called it a career. Jim McMahon. 85 Bears. All right, Doug Flutie gone as well. A lot of big names. Good thing I took a look, especially Jerry Rice. Let's move to the free agent period because we've got $75 million to play with here. Let me just take a little peek at our lineup, see what we need. Ooh, Orlando Pace has X Factor, so does Tony Gonzalez. That is huge for the team. Really, really big. Nobody else goes up anywhere because, I mean, to be fair, Marvin Harrison and Terrell Owens were already X Factors, and Steve McNair doesn't move up. And then on defense, we've got Sharper with Superstar. Jason Taylor has X Factor. Rondé Barber has X Factor. I am a drafting god. How many times does that have to be said? Drafting god. It doesn't look like anybody else moves the development trade up. Izzo's still star. Von Olahoffen is still star, so yeah, it doesn't look like we move anybody else up, but we get some big-time reveals of X Factors. So, going into free agency, what do we need? Larry Allen. I would certainly not be upset with 26-year-old Larry Allen. Steve Young is here. It looks like he's going to go to the Jaguars, of all teams. Jim Harbaugh's here. We go to running backs. I'm fine with the running backs that we have right now. Wide receivers, Rocket Ismail is available. Charles Johnson. I don't think we need another receiver of that caliber. Tight end. There's nobody better than what we have at backup. Left tackle, Von Parker. We don't need a left tackle anymore. Left guard, center, right guard. I think what I might be able to do is I might be able to offer Larry Allen a huge contract and then move him to right guard, and then all we need to do is figure out the left guard and center, and our offensive line is figured out for a while. So if I can offer Larry Allen, I don't know what the other teams are offering him, but if I can offer him a fat contract, hopefully he will say yes to it. and we will be solid. We are blowing the Saints out of the water, so that's perfect. Maybe we're overpaying a little bit, but I like our option here. Defensive tackle, not really there. There's nobody here at the right end spot because we have Jason Taylor. Although I could use a backup instead of a free agent, so maybe we bring somebody in like cheap. Sean Jones. I guess we'll just stick with what we have. Left outside linebackers. I like Webster and Izzo. Middle linebackers, we obviously have Lewis and Thomas, and then Derek Brooks. Corner, Dwayne Washington's the best corner available. I could use one corner. I don't know who that one corner is going to be. I mean, I shouldn't probably waste my money, should I? If I don't feel confident with a corner, then I probably shouldn't waste it. We don't need a free safety. We don't need a strong safety. All right, so our money is going to go into Larry Allen. That's about it. Not a very eventful signing period in terms of just signing a bunch of players. We might not even get Larry Allen. That's a possibility. It would be huge if we did. He's only 26. We could move him to right guard, and our offensive line is one step closer to being completely finished for a while. I hope that he signs with us. He is accepted. Larry Allen is now a Baltimore Raven. Now all we got to do is go to the lineup and make him a right guard. And he will take over that position, and we will be pretty much set for the draft. I also need to see where the Jaguars finished so that we can figure out where we need to go in the draft. Oh, man. The right side of the offensive line is pretty much solidified now. Orlando Pace on the left side. We just need to figure out that center and left guard spot, which we could figure out in this draft. Somebody else retired, it looks like. Mike Ruther, Steve Bono, Dante Jones all retired. All right. Good for you. And I'm not going to sign any more players. There just wasn't anybody else that really piqued my interest too much. So we're just going to move on. Big decision on a fifth-year option. Steve McNair's fifth-year option. Oh. We really couldn't find a way to get him on the field? Really? Assistant GM? As our starting quarterback, we couldn't figure out a way to get him on the field? Do we pick up Steve McNair's fifth-year option? I think we do. It gives me another year to think about what we're going to do with him. Let's pick him up. All right, we're going to pick up Steve McNair's fifth-year option. I need more time to figure out what we're going to do. So, we're going to pick it up. I don't want to just give him a contract right away. So, now we need to use these on a few extra guys. Let's use it on both Faneca and Kreutz. And then we'll use another one on probably Samari Roll. Those will be my other private workouts. We're obviously not going to be in play for Peyton Manning, but that's okay. Some other team can have him. And mock draft number 5 is coming out. That's going to be crucial. We need to know where Randy Moss is going to go. But more importantly, we need to know where the Jaguars have us picking. Mock draft number 5. The number 2 pick. And funny enough, it's Randy Moss is projected to go number 2. But that might just be because he's on our board. Charles Woodson is projected to go to the Colts. I think I might. We have number 16, which is our own pick. I think what I might do is Faneca's projected to go 21 to the 49ers. That's not good. I think what I might do is I might try to trade my 16th pick to get all the way up to number 5 to get Charles Woodson. If we could come away with Charles Woodson and Randy Moss in this class, I think that would be really, really good for the first round. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So we need to trade up to number 5 from number 16. I'm going to go and do that really quickly. You guys have seen me do this in the past. I'm going to go trade up to number 5, and then we'll be good from there. All right, we now have pick number 2 and pick number 5. So we are good to go to get Randy Moss and Charles Woodson. That'll solidify our wide receiver core and our cornerbacks to pair alongside Rondé Barber. Adding Charles Woodson is going to be huge. So we are going to probably miss out on Alan Faneca, but that is okay because there's going to be other good left guards in future draft classes that we can get. Getting Larry Allen was really, really big. That was a really big step in the development process of our offensive line. Let's start drafting here. Thank you to the Jacksonville Jaguars for giving us the number 2 pick. The Houston Oilers take their franchise quarterback, Peyton Manning. The Baltimore Ravens take their franchise wide receiver. Although we probably don't have to, do we? I'm doing it anyway. I don't care. I'm not missing out on Randy Moss. We take our franchise wide receiver, Randall Moss. 99 speed. Randy Moss. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing. Maybe we could have traded back and still got Randy Moss, but I wasn't going to risk it. Ryan Leaf, possible franchise quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Curtis Ennis heads to Tampa Bay. And now we can grab ourselves Charles W. Woodson. Welcome to Baltimore. Oh, we've killed the draft. We have killed the draft, ladies and gentlemen. We've murdered it. Grant Wisdom, Andre Wadsworth. We are having ourselves a blast here in the first round of the NFL draft in 1998. Dwayne Starks, Trey Thomas, Greg Ellis, Kevin Dyson, Jason Peter, Vonnie Holiday, Terry Fair, Robert Edwards. Nobody big name is going anywhere. Kyle Turley. Takeo Spikes goes to Minnesota. I would have liked to get Takeo Spikes. There goes Faneca to the 49ers. We just weren't going to get him. Keith Brooking, Sam Cowerts, Corey Chavos, Fred Taylor to Houston, Victor Riley, Brian Kelly. No, not that Brian Kelly. Mo Collins, Tabucky Jones, Donovan Darius, PS1. Heads to the Giants. I would have also liked to get PS1, but it just wasn't in the cards. All right, so this is our last pick until the 4th round. So we got to make it right. I think we take Olin. I think that's the smart move. He's a round 1 talent. We need a center for the future, so getting him is huge. That's 3 W draft picks in this draft so far. We're coming away with some pretty solid players for the future of this team. Into the 4th round now. We've got Jeff Saturday, London Fletcher, and Pat Tillman. Let's take London Fletcher with this pick, I guess. We get another big pick up, but I don't know how high of a development or how high of an overall he's going to be. That's the only concern. And then everybody else we have is pretty much just UDFAs, or projected UDFAs. Saturday and Tillman, I guess we'll take Tillman now, and then we'll take Saturday in the next round. That's still a good pickup, even though he's normal development. It's Pat Tillman. And then in the 6th round, we will come away with, Curtis Alexander. Look at that. Getting drafted by the Patriots. We'll get Jeff Saturday. I don't know. He's probably going to be like in the 50s or 60s of his overall, but I'd say that is a W of a draft. Getting Randy Moss and Charles Woodson in the 1st round was huge. And then coming away in the 2nd round with Kreutz was unbelievably good as well. Randy Moss starts out as an 87. Are you serious? That's huge. Huge. Charles Woodson is an 83. Kreutz is a 77. Fletcher's a 73. Tillman's a 65. Saturday's a 71. And then they took some right tackle that's not going to make the team. So big ups on the boys. And I accidentally hit back instead of looking at the rest of the draft class. I'm so excited for the next season to see Randy Moss out there. Manny is an 80 overall. Moss clears it by a mile. Then Woodson, then Faneca, then Manning, Starks. We had ourselves quite the draft class. That's a W. That's a big W. A double U. Oh, man. I have a feeling that the playoff drought is going to be coming to an end next season. Next episode, I should say. We're going to adjust the lineup. Steve McNair, man, it's your time to shine. You've got weapons upon weapons upon weapons. So there's no business losing any more games or not playing the way that you need to be playing. He is him. Randy Moss is arrived in Baltimore. There's nothing else we can do. We've got Larry Allen now, which, why is he playing left guard instead of right guard? You know what? Whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as he's playing guard. As long as he's on the offensive line, that's fine. Olin will not start over Tobeck for this season. We'll give him another year of development. And then on defense, we're looking pretty good. I'm going to start Izzo over Webster again. We need to figure out the D-tackle spot. We need to figure out our replacement for Reggie White. Woodson will start over Rondé Barber. I'm fine with that. We still need to figure out some backup corners, though. And Pat Tillman will be the backup to Darren Sharper. But this team is starting to come together. You can see the building blocks for the early dynasty. It's coming together. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.